Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Alison Pello. Welcome. Give us a smile. Rhiannon always gives us a lovely smile. We've got lots of wonderful people on the call today. And what we're going to be doing is talking about working productively at home. We positioned this one, Stephen, didn't we, specifically, because we were looking at all the different things and we thought we'd slip one in for August. I'm delighted to say that these webinars are now, we're actually putting them onto podcasts too. So we're on podcasts, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it, we're there. So just checking so that you can see my screen working productively. It's the slides are there, aren't they, Stephen? You can see that? Brilliant.
I can see them clearly, yeah.
Marvellous. So just also telling everyone there is a chat function. Please do use the chat function. I've put in there that I'm in Surrey. Be nice to know where you all are. Rhiannon, I can't quite remember where you live. I think it's somewhere in the southeast. Rachel, be interested to know where you are. We've got Prahashant. I don't think I pronounced that properly, sorry. Melissa Prowse. Hello, Melissa. So if you could just pop your name and say hi into the chat box, that would be amazing. I'm sure we all want to know how we're going to be working in lockdown. Well, it's not lockdown anymore, but working at home. So just to say that there are some people that have been on our calls that we wanted to take to the sort of next level. Melissa is actually one of them. We've invited them to join our VIP members club, where we can get more detailed discussion from quite senior HR and learning development people. If you'd like to join that club, just pop me a little message afterwards and we can definitely discuss that. We're just getting sorted to probably start events only virtually to begin with, maybe an event full, in full face-to-face maybe in November, December. So that's what that is. We love to get your feedback. So we will be sending you an email afterwards with the information, sending you a link. If you could give us some feedback, we'd really appreciate it. That's going the wrong way. So this is what we're going to cover today. And I'm going to hand over now to Stephen to tell us more.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Stephen Curie. In introducing myself, I'd like to say a good morning to you all from the comforts of my kitchen. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. And I'm also in beautiful Northern Ireland. Now, can I please make sure that you do put down where you're from, because it's quite interesting to read in the chat box. Thank you, Alison, and to your team, People Vision HR, for this invitation to participate in this webinar. And today I see that there are many professionals that I read on LinkedIn this morning. So thank you again. So Alison, just to set my credibility, for those who don't know me, I'm an international leadership, learning and development coach based out of Northern Ireland for my company, BMBY Limited. And I've been around, well, as an entrepreneur since 1999. And love every minute of my career to date. And this is simple because I love being with people and being with new people, new cultures, and the fact that I can be stuck in a tin can at 36,000 feet because I'm an aviation enthusiast. But where did it all go wrong? So hopefully I will answer that as we talk about this through the agreed objectives that Alison has set today. So on the next screen, the objectives that we've set are creating a dedicated workspace that will minimize the potential for distraction. And you can see that on your screen. To also self-motivate and sustain your personal morale throughout the day, maintaining a healthy work-life balance, and manage your responsibilities alongside your domestic ones. Not bad. So we've got quite a lot to go on for the next 45 minutes, Alison.
We have. Oh, sure. Sorry, guys. It's a bit sensitive, this mouse. Keep going, sorry.
It is. So now I do realize that most of us have had to work productively at home, and I've had to do this for nearly 2 years now. I further understand that most of you today may be pretty au fait with what I'm going to be talking about, and I totally will value your input and experience in that. But let us also just be mindful that there are others who will be moving into this way of thinking now for the first time, and these are for many reasons. The virus indeed has broken through cultural and also technological barriers that prevented remote work in the past, setting in motion a structural shift in where work takes place, at least for some of us anyway. Some of you may be familiar with McKinsey and Company, and they have reported that in their analysis, employers have found, I'm reading this from the screen now, have found that during the pandemic that although some tasks can be done remotely in a crisis, they are much more effectively done in person. And these activities, for most of us who are online today, could include coaching, counseling, providing advice and feedback, building customers and colleague relationships. So here's a question, and please put it in your answers into the chat box. Who is already working from home? Just type in me if you can. Okay, so Wendy, definitely. Rachel, Nabil, oh gosh, yeah, so Melissa, a lot of you. So you are familiar from what I'm going to be talking about today. So hybrid working, I love the term, or some people have said WFH, working from home. Now, the next question, I might see this become a lot lesser, but are you working productively from home? Hi, Gail. Yes. Are you working productively from home? Sometimes, very much so. Yeah. Gosh, most of the time. Yeah, well, that's the whole problem that we're working with at the moment, is productively. And me very much so, I am of a personal belief that in working productively at home, it is within your mindset. Most of us during our working week have ventured to a typical routine when we must get up, get ready, get dressed, and make our way to the transport for our journey to work. Now, granted, we have made a shift where we can now get half up, get half ready, get half dressed, and make our way to our kitchens or our living space, or for some, even the closet, to establish a working day. Now, remember, I have said that this is all a mindset, and I'm going to explain that to you. So the coronavirus has meant big life changes for us all. My kids hate it because from 9 to 5, don't come into the kitchen. But yeah, they sneak in anyway. So some of these changes include adjusting to new ways of working. While some of us are returned to our normal workplace, many are still working from home or else actually are going to be phased into this return. So firstly, where you can, in talking about how we organize our space, can I emphasize that you need to make a dedicated space? So find a quiet space away from people and other distractions like Netflix or the kitchen. Well, the food in the kitchen anyway. And don't worry what it looks like, because Zoom and MS Teams, they allow you to create different backdrops or filters. Yesterday, I had an interview with a new client, and she had Snowdonia moving image in the background, and it was lovely, but there was snow falling. So don't worry what it looks like. Even in a small or a shared space, try to designate an area for your particular work and get everything you need in one place before you start working. Now, Alison, when you come into work in the morning, or sorry, whenever you go to your workspace, do you have your charger ready?
My charger, my phone charger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I've got one on my desk.
So many people don't, and then they end up running around the house looking for it. But have your chargers, your pens, your paper, and anything else, and shut the door if you can. Put a wee notice on the door that you are behind, or that third door there I haven't put up. I'm on with Alison this morning. I am in my kitchen, but it's away from the main usage area. I've set it up and it's comfortable. While it might be tempting for some of us having a busy evening before, the sofa may be much more comfortable, but please sit at a desk or a table. Now, if you don't have an office furniture like an adjustable chair, try using things like cushions to support yourselves, and make sure that you're putting your feet on the floor. If you can't reach it, get a box and make that your footrest. There would be a whole other webinar if I were to talk you through how to sit at your desk properly, but please remember.
Don't get distracted now, Stephen.
What?
Don't get distracted now, Stephen.
Yep. 5-finger rules here, okay? Support your back, rest your feet on the floor, place your screen at eye level, have the keyboard straight in front of you, and take regular breaks. So, Alison, moving on to the next part is going to be creating accountability to yourself. Now, this is a difficult one. Do you ever disappear for about 20 minutes to catch up on something? In creating accountability for yourself, I have had an increase in requests recently of delivering soft skills training in time management. And I cannot be any clearer in encouraging you to set and stick to a particular routine. Now, B&M and Home Bargains can be your best place for this, as you can buy very inexpensive diaries or even these to-do plans. They're only 50p or a pound. Get one. Without steady schedules, the lines between work and your personal time can become blurred and be very stressful.
Rachel has said on here, very busy, but not sure I'm focusing on the right things. I don't know about the rest of you, but also I think this pandemic has gone in phases. If you're a parent, you might have children at home for certain times, or they're away, or you've got to go on holiday. And I don't know about, like, the week before holiday, I just think, oh, sort it out when I come back. Now I've come back and I think, oh, I want to go on another holiday. And it's really hard to keep yourself like constantly focused. So I think even if you use the book, or you use this, or you use Asana, or the different tools, whatever it might be, even if you use it for just a short time, just to change that state that you're in, to organize yourself.
Yeah. And it is all about that state of mind and sticking to the routine. I have to put down in paper what I need to do. If I don't, I am going to totally move out of it. Even with saying that, without a steady schedule, the lines between work and personal time will become blurred. Does everybody agree with that? We still need to get up at the same time. We still need to get up, eat our breakfast, and get out of our pajamas. This does not mean to say that you can run around in your living room or any other area in your house with your particular chosen loungewear, namely boxer shorts for me. But try scheduling in your commute time as well. I know that you're in the home, but if you've had a commute time, for myself to get to Belfast, maybe 45 minutes, spend it exercising out the back, reading, or listening to music before logging in. All of these things can still be regular within your routine. Now, most importantly, when your workday stops, stop working. Okay? I'd love to see what you have to say about that, but shut down, stop checking emails, and focus on your home life. Now, my home consists of myself, my wife, and 5 kids. Well, one of them has flown the nest. She got married in April during lockdown, and the other is now away back to uni. And at the end of the day, try to get to bed on your usual time. Now, as we say here in Northern Ireland, you're trying to teach your granny to suck eggs here, but please try to keep that routine. It makes a difference. It is easy to say for those who have a 9-to-5 position, okay? And maybe difficult for those like myself or Alison who may be self-employed, but the principle is still the same. Set and stick to that particular routine. Alison, I got a text message from you this morning, 8 o'clock. So you're not a 9-to-5 person. How does that feel for you? Do you have a routine?
I don't even remember doing that, but that's the thing. No, I'm not. But I also know I am pretty good at switching off. I would say, I've got a dog. I take him for walks. I did have holiday last week. The week before that, I sort of tinkered. But I've had my own business for 20 years, and what technology has given me is the freedom actually to be away from my workspace and to be able to contact, clients, customers, my team, and MS Teams has also been another enabler. So I think I'm pretty good at, I might work at 8, but I might stop at 3, or I might stop at 12. I'm going out after we've done this. I'm going around to some friends and having lunch with them actually at 1:15. So, that almost is easier for me working for myself. I think people who work in the corporate setting actually have it. My perception is they have it quite difficult. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what on the chat. Lisa said, I do struggle with to finish on time if I'm in the middle of something, as an example. Melissa says it's really hard to do with a workstation setup, as always ready to go, and find myself working evenings and early mornings. Yeah, and I think maybe if you haven't got other people in your household to distract you as well, it's really easy to just keep working. And this isn't sustainable, is it, Stephen? Back to you.
No, it's not. And I'm reading here exactly what Rachel, Wendy, Melissa, and Lisa have actually said there. And yes, it is so true. At the start of this pandemic, I was very much falling into all of those categories that you have just identified there. My wife says to me last night, Stephen, you're working in the evenings now. Is that better? Yes, it is better for me. During morning time, it's very, very difficult for me. But when I get back to the accountability, hi, Ruth, welcome. For your accountability, if you end the day on kind of a fuzzy on how much you've got done, consider tracking your hours. Okay, Toggle is an app, and that's spelled Toggl. It's a free app. It's an intuitive app, and that lets you track work time throughout the day and allocate that time to specific projects. So when you feel like you're being really productive, and then you see that you're clocking 5 hours only in a particular day, tweak your routine to figure out what's happening to your productivity. So tackling tasks, structure, workflow for maximum productivity. Now, there you go. There's my wife into the kitchen, and she's just put the microwave on, so hopefully you don't hear that. For you to tackle tasks, yeah, look, she's smiling away at me here. So for you to tackle tasks and structure workflow for maximum productivity, you need to be doing the most obvious planning and go to that that comment that has ever been designed for is to give yourself a break. Okay, making time for breaks is important to help managing the feelings of stress that we have. Now, try to take your lunch and also regular screen breaks and give yourself time to concentrate on something else so you feel more focused when you actually return. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of short breaks each hour can really help your productivity too. You are not white collaring your employer through time theft. You're doing your entitlement to working regulations and taking short breaks each hour from a screen. Okay, the screen is absolutely difficult and will absolutely zone you in. If possible, spend time outdoors when you can. I don't know what the weather's like where you are all today, but I could comfortably go out the back. Might not get as much done, but regular time in green space, not on a green screen, is great for your mental health. Set a time, go for a walk, run, or bike ride for some fresh air, or even a coffee. Alison, G&T with your friends?
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah. Have you scheduled that in, or does it just happen?
Oh, it's just both.
Well, no harm to what anybody's saying here. Lisa's saying here she also tends to work through lunch and only have breaks when making a drink or a bathroom break. I'm the same. Okay. But your breaks are your entitlement, Lisa. Make them work for you. One other area that falls under tackling tasks and structure workflow for maximum productivity is knowing the rules of setting boundaries. Okay, so setting boundaries with other members of your household is the key to mental well-being while working at home. Believe me, I know this. You can be more flexible when working from home, so you must definitely enjoy it. But it can also be difficult if there are other distractions to deal with, like hungry children at home. Kids may also be thinking that you're on holiday if this is a new thing for them, and they want to spend time with you and the fridge. So discuss your needs, put an agenda on the door, or even better, why not communicate with your family? Talk to them. Don't send them text messages. Remind them that you still have to do the work and need quiet time to do it. And also, if you want to, share your schedule. Was that a noise from the side there? Yep, the wife's in the kitchen. So there we go. So positive habits to healthy, happy, and focused lifestyles. Okay, create these habits. Now, here's a wee stat for you from the Harvard Business Review. When Stanford University researchers enlisted about 250 employees at a large travel agency, over a 9-month study, they actually sent half of them home to work. And they found that the remote workers boosted their actual performance by 13%. Those employees also took fewer breaks and sick days and were more productive per minute. Block your social media accounts. This is a killer sometimes. Okay. If I was doing this and didn't have it off, I'd have messages from Facebook. Okay. I'd have messages from Twitter. Block them at home. No one's going to notice that you've zoned out for 5 or maybe 45 minutes, Alison, on Facebook, but that doesn't make social media any less of a productivity killer.
No, in fact, we did a live on deconnecting yourself. There was something, there was a cleverer title than that. But basically, if you can pick your phone up with purpose, i.e., rather, if you know you want to look at your phone or LinkedIn, I mean, I'm a devil. When I'm working, I'm looking at LinkedIn quite a lot as an example. So, but if you try to just once a day look at LinkedIn or whatever your guilty pleasure it is, just once a day, but just being more mindful each time you pick up the phone to what is your purpose? Are you just picking it up just to entertain yourself while you're watching the TV, while you're doing your job? I mean, I'll be honest, like, as we're talking, I've just seen BBC News come in, you know, as a flash came up. You know, really look at your notifications, and do they all need to be on all the time? Absolutely agree, Stephen.
And here's the other biggest curse, Alison, a watch that alerts you to what's happening as well. So I've got the BBC alert that you have. And whilst I'm talking to you, I want to look down just to be woozy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make social media any less of the productivity killer, as I've already said. Oh, there you go. Not sure he understands. Not talking to you. Okay. So use visits to Twitter and the like as rewards for getting things done. Power through a project for the next hour, and then you can actually spend 10 minutes liking photos or comments on Instagram or Facebook. But if moderation isn't your strength, which mine isn't, apps like Freedom or Self-Control will block any sites that you choose, and the ones that you know will most likely distract you for certain periods of time, and you have a choice on that.
Well, Catherine's just said there's an app called Forest, and it encourages you not to look at your phone. That's really interesting. We'll have a look at that.
I'll definitely have a look at that. I love seeing all these new apps. I'm going to talk to you about isolation. I know there's positive habits there, and we can talk about how we're eating and various things, but I'm going to come back to that because during isolation and loneliness at home, and I know that all of us have read up on and listened to the many helpful working tips from home websites that have been created. But after a period of days and weeks, you are increasingly going to be noticing something is still missing. So depending on your job duties and mine, sometimes having background sounds like news or talk radio or your favorite music can create a sense of companionship and comfort. So I know that during the morning I put classic FM on just to listen to it. Oh, only because it's free. But in the evening times, I have a group of songs called Oomph, because by the end of the day, I'm actually logging myself off. But, you know, the experts do caution us against the habit of working with the TV running or diving into personal social media during the workday. And these can be a major distraction that will likely sidetrack our productivity and steal that valuable time that you're trying to create. So to overcome isolation and loneliness at home, here's a few tips for you. Try to maintain a positive outlook as much as possible. Okay, putting feelings of isolation in perspective is important, but after all, they are feelings rather than being facts that can be managed to a degree. Embracing the change and thinking positively about the good things that come with working from home may help lessen the impact of isolation. Okay, are you ever in the house on your own when you're working? Me, this house is always busy. What about you, Alison?
No, most of the time there's somebody here. My husband's at home and my daughter's at school, but that was obviously on and off. I'd be really interested to see on the chat actually what people have thought about isolation and loneliness. It might not be about themselves, it might be about others in their team and what they've done to help their team members. I mean, certainly for me, I think we might talk a little bit about technology, but technology, but I've worked. So when the pandemic happened, I was already working in this office, in this space with my team who were working remotely and with my clients and customers who were remote to me as well, apart from going into a workplace to deliver some training and consultancy work. So I was mostly at home. So the shift wasn't that great for me, although what we then did was we put MS Teams in because we had a lot of fractured technology, whether it was Skype, WhatsApp, blah, 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 blah. But once we put MS Teams in and then our filing and chat and everything was centralized, that created so much more purpose. So I might now, before I might have spoken to somebody once a week, now because I've got Teams, I can click a button and I can work at the same time and we can work on something. We can share screens, the tech works. And that has reduced my isolation of working. I feel much more comfortable working alongside somebody. So I'm really interested. Lucy says, my husband's far too chatty when we're both at home. He's normally on his own and he loves the company, whereas I'm normally at an office and value the quiet home is for me. So Lucy, do you work in an office together? So that's quite hard. I built Mark Anderson. I built my office in the back garden during the lockdown. Now I have a peace and quiet, but I forgot but often I forget about Mark. That sounds great. Love it.
It's great to communicate. Someone once said to me, Mark, that, yeah, why don't you go and talk to your family, not via your phone, because they're actually pretty cool. Everything's done by text or emoji cons. But also there, Wendy, my company are fab at keeping in touch, and I've really, I haven't felt isolated, and you're lucky. Yeah. So many people are. In the news this morning, just listening to it, the mental health increase for mental health outsourcing and support has tripled 200%. And that's why I think People Vision are great in what they offer to their clients as well. But using the team collaboration tools that you've mentioned there, again, I'll talk about it when we're concluding, but this needs just to recapture the sense of social presence and interaction with our colleagues, our partners and customers. Please be proactive in reaching out. That's one thing I continuously say to people in time management and delivery: connecting, engaging, and interacting with others. Instead of you simply waiting to schedule a meeting, sometimes it's helpful to have a virtual coffee break. Again, the all-important word break, or an informal chat with a remotely colleague. Just set that up. Some of us may be introverted or extroverted. Introverted, please, know people are out there and they're feeling the same way as you. So just connect and have that break and a virtual cup of coffee. You never know. They may also be feeling really self-isolated and might just need you to make that contact.
I also think when employees are new to the business, I mean, what a time. You know, I know Melissa's on the call today and she's had to start her job as quite a senior, well, a very senior position, obviously Melissa, very senior, you know, a senior position in an organization. It doesn't matter whether she's senior or junior, still starting a job where you're not connected in an office like you would be, or a shop or whatever it is, and having to create your working styles, your influence, all of that, that's really difficult remotely. So, you know, we have to work as hard as we can. And, you know, and I think that's the time to reach out when new people start, to help them into the business, because they might be feeling really anxious about that.
Oh yeah. It's just exactly there what Anna Maria has just read on the chat there. Keep the office culture alive, even from home. And this has been the first challenge we faced last year in March. Gail is saying there that our teams have an informal coffee break at some stage each week via Teams. Yeah, really is good to catch up. It is fantastic. It makes a difference. Whilst we're saying that, can I ask, do any of you have particular goals or objectives set for today in what you're wanting to achieve?
Well, they can pop that on the thing.
Yeah.
So Lisa says, I started my job a month ago and finding it strange sometimes.
Just whilst we get a few of the comments coming up there, I just want to mention about goals, because setting objectives for yourself and actively taking the satisfaction in your work accomplishments can be helpful as well. I have pictures just behind my computer screen of drawings that my kids have done for me. Being less distracted by office surroundings, working from home, may help you reflect on your work more deeply. The other one here, and I've two in my last comments here about gravitating towards sunshine. If you have access to a window and need to come out of the closet, get an extra bit of sunshine, move your desk closer to the window so you can have a quick look away as well. But Alison, I put this one in for you. Don't be afraid to talk to your furry friends. Okay, cat, the dog. If you have one around the house, just like us, we have guinea pigs. And whenever I'm breaking free here, I go out to the hall to have a quick chat with Duracell and Kinder. I didn't name them. But I understand, though, that not everyone has a cat or a dog, but they can be a welcome distraction and really a source of mutual social enjoyment when we're working from home. Even your goldfish.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, mum's eating the other one or something like that.
Yeah. Wendy, please, I would love a puppy. 11-week-old puppy that is always up for a chat. Yeah. And don't forget, lift them up and bring them to the screen and show your friends. That could just make a difference there as well.
I'm very tempted to go and get my cat and bring her. I won't.
No, don't be doing that. I love cats. So let's, I'll have a look at a few of the comments that are coming through, but I'm going to progress on to what makes our office productive. Lucy has said that we use MS Teams and created a chat team for the non-work related chat. Love the non-work related chat to share holiday pics. Okay. And jokes. Now, as long as they're controlled jokes on that one. Mark Anderson, if you have a team member that are having isolation issues or just feeling down, most life insurance companies now offer free living benefits, which include counselling service and guidance. I didn't know that, Alison.
No.
Thanks, Mark. Well, that's fantastic, because that would really, really help, because I know the NHS is absolutely clogged up with their mental health first aiders, et cetera, et cetera. So your furry friend comes up with better ideas than you do, Malcolm. Yeah, so do my guinea pigs. Let's talk about what makes a productive office. So one of the things that I think will make a productive office, if we start thinking long term. At the start of it all, people are thinking, it's only going to last a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It's now went into a couple of quarters, a couple of 6 months. We need to think long term. Again, this is all the mindset that I established with you at the start. Think long term as to what's going to happen. You may be continuing to work from home for a while, so think of ways you can improve how you work whilst in the home. If you have a room that's warmer or has a window that lets in a lot of light, okay, you could be there instead. Introduce a plant. I've started introducing, what do you call those, desert plants? I forgot it, it's slipped my mind. I've started putting in a few succulents in the house just to make it look a little bit different. And the word I was looking for was cactus. Create a few designer backdrops. Try to explore how you work with others. Are there different ways to talk online or new software that you can use? And thanks for mentioning Forest earlier on, because I'm going to be looking that up. Be kind to yourself. And remember, this is an unusual situation and things will not feel normal. But please don't blindside yourself by thinking it's going to last for another couple of weeks. And that is the reality. It could last another couple of months. Be kind to yourself and acknowledge that you might not be as productive as you usually would be. Please be realistic about what you can achieve given the circumstances and relax when your work is done. In a previous webinar, I mentioned to Alison that I am an adult with neurodiversity. I have ADHD, so it's difficult for me to be at home. So any distraction to me is like a magnet, and that magnet is like go to. I have my settings and locations all ready for my day, but if I did not, and I did not have my schedule, nothing would be done, and no one, this is pretty good for my clients, but no one would ever be invoiced. So it is so important that we plan like this. I think this is where you were encouraging Alison to go on there, but making use of technology to connect. As I previously said, when we're talking about isolation and loneliness at home, stay connected, not via your text messaging on your phone, but through the systems that are there for you. While working from home definitely does have benefits, you may also feel typically even more isolated. But there are lots of ways to stay in touch, and we've mentioned a few of those. In and out of work, human interaction matters. So schedule a video call and pick up the phone instead of emailing. Let's do what Mark has said there. Look at your corporate insurances. Who can you talk to? Who's available to you? And like Lisa, I believe you said earlier on there about you continuously do this. You're having different chat mornings. Gail has said they have chat morning during the week. Plan it. Put that in. And even if no one else is planning it, you can do it. And I'm sure your boss is not going to say you shouldn't have done that. If you're struggling with working at home, speak to a colleague or a manager about your concerns. Please do this. They're trained or they have trained professionals. It's all down to the work-life balance that we need to create. Remember, your colleagues probably feel the same as you. Ask how they're doing and whether there are ways you can support each other. Okay. Make time to socialize virtually. schedule in a digital coffee morning. Try to do it. It is fantastic. And Alison has all these particular webinars, LinkedIn Lives. Join them. And there's other forums out there that you can get involved into. But get to know that people are actually doing this. Alison, I just want to touch on, you just put it up there, the work-life balance. This all comes down to your mindset. It also comes down to what you have scheduled for your day. Do you have objectives? Do you have the plan set up? If not, just take a couple of minutes today to think about these things. Scheduling a time for yourself, taking a break, and also setting objectives. Make sure you're reaching out. There is one particular book that I would like to mention here that I think is great. And it falls into the time management area that I love to deliver as a soft skill. Okay, it's a book by Brian Tracy. And in his book, Eat the Frog, this is a way of getting more of the important things done for today. It's a fantastic book. Now, when you hear about me saying eat the frog, what the heck is he talking about? Just Google that term. But it firmly gets to the root cause of why people such as myself procrastinate. Then it effortlessly brings you and explains how to boost your productivity once and for all. Eat the Frog is a perfect book. Now, I'm not being sales pitched here, but it's a perfect book for anyone who is struggling with procrastination, gets a lot done, but actually isn't making any progress on the important stuff, which is me, has a hard time sticking to a productivity system, maybe has trouble deciding what to work on at any given time, or feels overwhelmed by their to-do list. Eat the Frog works because Eat the Frog should be in everyone's productivity arsenal. Even if you've already used another system like blocking or the Pomodoro technique, it promotes a deep work habit. Gail, it is very, very good. And if you're wanting to learn of it, I'll meet you and send it to you. Gail's in Northern Ireland. So keep and promote a deep work habit. Now, this is a quote that not Steve Jobs, it was Steve Jobs, but it says, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. All right. So I would welcome any questions that are coming up, Alison. I will surely share any tips or messages with you, but please, I hand the time back over to you, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Stephen. That was great. Lovely. And I think the fact that we had the wife with the poppity ping in the background actually added to the fact that, showing, I don't know how you stayed focused, because I tell you what, I can see my husband going past that window and I can hear the dog, or I've got a flippin' Siamese cat who meows. And I find that really distracting. It doesn't bother me, but most of the time, but when I'm on one of these calls, I find, obviously because we're hosting, it doesn't matter if you're just sitting and listening, but it is very hard. So well done. Congratulations to you for staying focused there. I open it up really to everybody on the chat and unmute yourselves if you've got particular questions for Stephen, something you'd like to share, little nuggets, anything you guys have got that you'd like to share with us.
Was it something that you have all heard before, or was there a lot of new messages for you maybe?
No, some new messages there, Stephen. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Another book that might be interesting for people, it's mainly designed for people that are actually self-employed or in business themselves, but it's called The 4-Minute Workweek.
Yeah.
It's very good. I don't think if you're actually working for somebody, some of it, you wouldn't be able to tell your boss that I only want to open emails at 11 or 3:30. Won't really work for you. But if you're self-employed, it does work very well. But there's interesting hints and guidance for just working a schedule. Brilliant. Really. Yeah,
definitely looking for that.
Thank you. And Ruth says, interesting ideas. Headphones. Yeah, actually, headphones are a good idea. I personally, I've tried all sorts of headphones, quality ones, not such quality ones. Again, if I'm doing this sort of event and I'm hosting, I prefer to just not have them in, because I want to like manage everything and just hear what is going on. But I do agree. I think headphones can, they can absolutely help. Malcolm recommends eating that frog. Rhiannon says, thanks very much. That was great. Brilliant. So again, any comments, questions, ideas? Today probably didn't teach you anything that you probably possibly didn't know already. It's just a good refresher, just to get a sense of regrouping yourself before September comes. I don't know, give me a show of hands, anyone who hasn't had their holiday yet, because I have, and I'm like, ooh. Oh, so Rhiannon hasn't, Melissa hasn't, Lisa. It's all the people that haven't had their holiday that are on the call. That's interesting. Maybe you're feeling that may be a sign of it, actually, that you're feeling that like holiday is coming and you just need that little bit of a boost. So, Stephen, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate, everything you've talked about today. Just to recap, like we should, as good trainers, we should tell you what we did cover today. I'm not sure whether that chat shows on your screen anyway. If not, today we covered how to create a dedicated working space, how to self-motivate yourself, maintain healthy work-life balance. I mean, a lot of the messages are the same in a lot of our webinars, because it's keeping yourself focused and healthy is important to so many parts of our working life, and managing your work responsibilities alongside your domestic ones. So I think that is it. If anyone's got any questions, please do ask away. If not, it's time to say goodbye and thank you.
If you're interested in this kind of content and want more of an intimate and unique experience, well, check out our VIP Club promo. It has all the information that you need for like-minded individuals within the human resources field of expertise. The link is in the description. We hope to see you there.